Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So, we will start today's session with a few moments of self awareness and then we'll proceed to the session today. Sit back. Allow your body to become still. Just keep it still and calm. Now slowly take your awareness to yourself. Become aware of yourself, a sparkling star in the center of the forehead. This is me, a beautiful point of light. Take a moment to appreciate your beauty and perfection. I'm a perfect and beautiful point. Completely perfect and very beautiful and shining. Feel the energy of your own being. My energy is peace. My inner world is very harmonious. Peace is a very harmonizing energy. No chaos, no noise. My inner being is full of this harmonious energy of peace. Feel the sweetness of this peace that you hold within. The light within me is the sweet light of peace. Very soothing, very calming, very harmonizing energy. As I focus my attention on the qualities of my being, these qualities, the experience of these qualities starts to become the fragrance of my mind. And my mind starts feeling very peaceful. Stay in this feeling for some time. Om Shanti. So, today's session I would summarize as it is on the topic that we are not betrayed by people, we are betrayed by our expectations of them. Okay? So, let us understand what I mean when I say that. Now you see, there is a truth and there is our idea of that truth. For example, when we were studying science, then science made us aware of many truths that we were previously unaware of. When you previously, before going to school as a kid, when you saw a tree, you did not recognize the internal processes that are going on inside that tree. You did not think that the tree is absorbing sunlight, preparing its food, emitting oxygen, emitting carbon dioxide during the day and oxygen in the evening. Sorry, it's the reverse. So you did not think about these things previously when you did not go to school or you were not educated in science. But when this was put into your awareness, this is a piece of knowledge which was given to you, and when you held that in your awareness, then it started influencing your attitude and your perception and your action. So then slowly, gradually, when this piece of information was given to you, then it became part of your attitude. So now when you saw the tree during the day, you were happy because you knew you were getting oxygen out of it. It is taking in sunlight, preparing food, giving out oxygen. So just by seeing that tree, you could think, you could have that awareness that this is doing all these internal processes, and as a consequence, you are receiving that oxygen. And because of that, you had an experience. So an awareness led to an experience, right? Similarly, when you come to God or when you come to the spiritual path, you are given knowledge about what is the truth about the soul, about the supreme soul, what is the journey of the soul, and these kinds of things. So when you hold these things in your awareness, then this also influences your attitude and your perception, and consequently your action. And your attitude sets the atmosphere, your perception has the power to create a reality. Now these two are very important things. Attitude sets the atmosphere and perception creates the reality. It is said, Jaisi drishti vaisi srishti. So if you see something in a certain manner, then just by virtue of seeing it in that manner, you are able to bring it to that form. Now there is a law which says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. And the Hindi counterpart is Jaisi drishti, vaisi srishti. So when you can change your perception about something, then you can actually make a difference to how that thing exists in reality. All right? So now we have to understand that we are suffering more from our perception than from the reality. And because we have a certain perception about everything, that perception is reinforcing the reality in a negative way. For example, in the exercise that we just did about focusing our attention on the harmonious or the peaceful part of the being that we are. Now, when I focus, when I pay attention to that, or when I perceive myself as a harmonious and peaceful being, then I become that. Because as you think, as you feel, you will become. Okay? Now, what do we do otherwise? We keep focusing on those parts of us which are acquired. For example, I may have a sanskar of getting irritated, or I may have a sanskar of feeling stressed. But then if I keep repeating to myself, I am stressed, I am stressed, I am irritated, I am irritated, so the mind is working like a tathastu machine. And when I say I am stressed, it is telling tathastu, tathastu, you are stressed. So instead of focusing on who we are right now, let's focus on who we were and who we want to be. So our original state is that of harmony, that of peace, that of happiness, that of bliss, that of pure love. So my heart holds pure love for myself and for the entire human race, and for plants and matter and everything. So let me focus on that loveful part of myself. Let me focus on that peaceful part of myself. And when I do so, I empower it, and that grows. And then slowly I change my whole being into that which I am focusing on. So this is how spirituality works. Now, there is another law which says we perceive as we are. We perceive as we are. So, if I start perceiving myself in a spiritual context, if I start looking at myself as a point of light, full of the light of peace, beauty, happiness, truth, if I start perceiving myself like that, it will be very easy for me to perceive other people around me in a similar fashion. And if this is a law that if you change the way you look at things, the things you will look at will change, then my perception has the power to bring out the best in other people as well. Right? But the thing is, the most important factor to underline in all of this is that we perceive as we are. So it is not possible that I keep identifying myself as a body of matter and as somebody who has these sanskars of getting stressed and irritated, and then I focus on the good on other person. That's not possible. So only when I change my perception of myself, then can I be successful in perceiving other people like that. Because my perception is very unique to me. And if I can change my perception towards myself, then I'm kind of training my perception to see the good in other people as well. Okay? And when you see the good gets better. This is a law. So if you focus on the bad gets worse. And if you focus on the good gets better. But how do we focus on the good when I cannot focus on my good? Okay. Young and they look healthy and they look strong, and this person looks weak and looks de-energized, and this is wrong on their part to not be offering their seat to this elderly person. But if I tell you that that person who was sitting is suffering from cancer, which you can't see, then you understand that they are right in not offering their seat. Now, this is about the part of the body that we can't see. We can't see the part of the body that is infested with cancer or tumor. So, this is one aspect of it. And when we come to this awareness that, okay, this person cannot offer his seat because he is not in a good state of physical health, then even when that is brought to my notice, I sometimes take cognizance of it, okay, this person cannot offer a seat because he is suffering from cancer physically. But then, do we understand that as a soul also we have limitations? Just like we have limitations of the body, as a soul we have limitations. Now, according to the journey of a person as a soul, I yesterday told you, everybody has a mind, buddhi, they have an original sanskar set and they have an acquired set of sanskars. Every soul has these four things. Now, according to that, the journey of that soul, which I can't see the soul, I can't see the journey. Maybe that soul has been very battered in his journey as a soul, and then they have very less of the power to cooperate, or they have very less of the power to give or help. This is a great power. Do we recognize that? That weak souls cannot demonstrate this kind of a power. So as a soul, that soul is weak. And when we are weak, we perform actions that look bad. Weak souls perform actions that look bad because weak souls are not capable of love, they are not capable of staying peaceful, and when they can't stay peaceful, they will obviously generate an atmosphere of peacelessness. They are discontented within themselves, so they will find faults with others. Now, we can see all these phenomena working within ourselves. When we are peaceless, we don't like the food on the plate. When we are unhappy, on days when we are irritated, we don't like how the other person is talking. But it's not about them, it's about our inner experience, our state of being. And when that state of being is in low energy, when I am in low energy, then I cannot conduct myself in a peaceful, loveful, happy fashion. Now, when I see that person sitting on the seat in a metro and not offering that seat to an elderly, am I aware of all of this? Now, this is what spirituality gives you. It gives us the tools of awareness. It makes us aware of the full reality of what we are seeing. We can see the body, we can't see what is under the skin. Okay, a medical report can show you what is going on under the skin, but there is no spiritual report of a person. There is no way you can discern and decide how spiritually powerful or how spiritually weak a person is until and unless you spend considerable time with them. And only through their actions, through what they say, through what they do, by observing that their thoughts, words and actions don't match, you come to know that they are a spiritually weak person. And when somebody is spiritually weak, they don't need your opinion. Because an opinion doesn't give them power. They need your love, they need your patience, they need your support. Right? Now, can we give our compassion, can we lend our compassion to somebody who is not lending a seat? Yes, so it is very easy to lend your compassion to somebody who is offering a seat. So we give duaएं or good wishes to already spiritually powerful souls. So good wishes are earned by those who are already full of good wishes. Because only those souls are capable of exhibiting behavior which makes you feel for them, or which makes you radiate a good wish for them. But can you lend your compassion to somebody who is not lending a seat? This is the thing. So anybody can send a good wish to somebody who is showing a good act. But can we lend our good wishes to somebody who is not showing a good act? Because we must understand this law that weak people, weak souls demonstrate bad behavior. So when we see a bad behavior, we have to keep in mind that it's coming from a weak place inside. And when a soul is weak, what it actually means is they are lacking in these 7 qualities: knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, and power. And what they need is exactly that from you. They want peace from you. They want you to be patient with them. They want you to be loveful towards them. They want you to be happy around them, so that even when they are snubbing and they are in a bad mood, they can pick on your energy and start feeling happy. But then this is only possible when I am very, very self-aware. When I am very, very self-aware that I need not get affected by their energy, their vibration, their behavior, and that has got something completely to do with them. And regardless of how they are, I am still a powerful, peaceful, loveful, blissful soul. And when I stay anchored within myself, only then will I be able to lend the support that would uplift them from that abyss of weakness. So this is something that we need to understand, that when souls are weak, they need our power to uplift them. But instead of giving them power, what do we give them? We give them a piece of our mind, whereas they need a piece of our heart. They don't need a piece of your mind, they need a piece of your heart. So we have to give them a piece of our heart. We have to extend love and compassion and acceptance to them. It is said, please love me the most when I deserve it the least, because that's when I need it the most. So you need to love somebody the most when they deserve it the least, because they need it the most. But this is possible only when I am able to keep this whole spiritual awareness within myself. If I forget that the other person is a soul, and on the basis of their gender and age and physical structure, and okay, now this is one example. Another example, let me give you. Somebody has a lot of wealth, okay, and they don't have a sanskar of being a donor. They have a sanskar of being very miserly. And you might have very less wealth, but you could have the sanskar of being a data, being a donor. You may not be miserly. Is this combination possible? Yes? This combination is possible. Is it possible? Chauresiya bhai sahab. This combination is possible or not possible? Somebody has a lot of wealth, but they don't have the sanskar of giving. They are very miserly, lobhi. And somebody has not much wealth, they have very meager incomes, but they have a big heart. Is this possible? Have you seen? Yes. Now.
Just now I heard that one of the ladies at Assam
Ah.
or Manipur, exactly it told me, they have given 1 month pension to
Yes,
teachers.
yes. So see, this is an example. Somebody in Assam has given away their 1 month pension for the relief of this COVID crisis. Jabki she might not be a very rich lady. Now, when this is possible, do you understand that it is faulty to assume that if somebody is wealthy, they will definitely have a big heart? And then feeling bad or cursing somebody because they did not help you financially even when they had a lot of wealth. Yes, we do that when we need financial help, and I have a friend or a family member or somebody who is very well off financially and they don't help me at that time, then I don't bless them, because what I assume is somebody who has money also has a big heart. But that's not possible, because the sanskar of the soul could be very different from the context of the body. In the professional context, in the financial context, they may be wealthy, but then that may not be the sanskar of the soul. Yes. Is it possible that somebody could be very educated but very superstitious? We have seen those combinations, very educated people being very superstitious, and very humble people, people with humble backgrounds, not even gone to school, could be very wise. And wisdom is about good buddhi, the discernment between what is good, bad, what is desirable, undesirable, what kind of thought, word, and action should I do at this time. If I give you a very workable definition of wisdom, it is doing the right thing at the right time, which is called wisdom. So, helping someone when they need it. Yes, not overdoing something because they don't need it. So, doing the right thing at the right time is wisdom. So, it could be possible that somebody who never went to school is very wise, and somebody who did a PhD doesn't have that wisdom. Now, we associate these things. We have this temperament or this conditioning of associating wisdom with education. We have this temperament of associating this expectation that a person would be large hearted if they are wealthy. I have an association that a person of a certain religion would be a certain kind, or a person in a certain uh, professional context, like this is an IT person, we say ye IT wale hain, ye business wale hain. So we have these kinds of prejudices where we associate certain features with certain physical contexts. And when we do so, we are making a big mistake or falling into the trap of our own expectations. Because they are who they are. Everybody is a soul and everybody is who they are. Yes, according to their journey, they have a definite sanskar. And when we are oblivious to this fact, and we conduct our life in oblivion, and we disregard this fact completely, that each one is a soul with a sanskar, and we generate expectations based on their physical context, this is called body consciousness. And when we understand that everybody is a soul, and I am a soul, and similarly everybody is a soul, and just like I have a man buddhi sanskar, they have a man buddhi sanskar, and despite whatever sanskar I have today, I am still originally a peaceful, powerful, loveful, blissful soul. So I have to detach my behavior from my original state and empower my original state. So what do I have to do with the other person? I also have to first clear my expectations, start seeing them as a soul, understand that whatever they do is because of the sanskar they have, and my expectation and their sanskars don't match because they are not designed to match. And secondly, I dissociate their behavior and them also. I see them as a powerful, peaceful, loveful, blissful soul, despite they exhibiting a behavior based on their acquired sanskar. So even if somebody is being lazy, I can send out a vibration that this person is very, very responsible and active. Okay, because a soul in its original nature, when you're peaceful, loveful, blissful, you would be responsible. So don't see who they are today. First, clear your expectations of them, because your expectations are your problem. You see them as a body, you identify with their physical context, and your expectations are your problem generated because of your body consciousness. Start seeing them as a soul. Recognize that they have a certain set of sanskars which are unique to them according to their journey, but nevertheless, everyone is a peaceful, loveful, blissful, powerful soul. And if I start looking at them like that, then they will become that. Okay? So even if a person is being miserly, if I can perceive them as large-hearted, they will become large-hearted. Right? But that will only happen if I have been so kind to myself. So self-compassion is very important if you want to be compassionate to others. If I have been able to see myself in such a compassionate manner, and from second to second I have been able to detach from my previous second, come to the awareness of who I am, give myself love and power to reform myself in the next second, then I will have the compassion to see the other person like that. Okay, so this is about body consciousness based on physical, financial, professional identities. Then there is another kind of body consciousness that we suffer from, which is born out of relationship consciousness. Yes, relationship consciousness. Now we have an idea about how a mother should be like, how a father should be like, how a child should be like, what is the concept of a good neighbor, good friend. So we have these words like good friend, good friend, bad friend. Yes, we have this terminology, good mother, bad mother. है ना? So children will say तुम अच्छी मम्मी नहीं हो, है ना? Why? Because you have an idea about how a mother should be, how a father should be, how a friend should be, how a colleague should be, how a husband should be, how a wife should be, how parents have an idea about how children should be. Now, who decided this? Because nobody ever had their expectation of the other person fulfilled. So this was designed, or this was given as a code of conduct to humanity, so that we could all kind of take it and do our bit, and so that the system could work well. But this code of conduct that was given to us, until we were powerful, that is, the soul was not very depleted, this code worked well because everybody could do what they were asked to do. But right now, this very code has become a very big problem. This unwritten code about how every person in every role should be has become a very big problem, because this has become the primary cause of our expectation and resultant disappointment. right? Now, if I say that you are my husband and you should be like this, yes, so I'm completely kind of being oblivious to the fact that the person or the soul in front of me is a soul with a mind, intellect, and sanskar. And his mind functions in a certain way, his buddhi holds certain truths, and his sanskars are a certain way because of their journey. And when I say you are my husband and you should be like this, what I am doing is I am creating a recipe for disaster, because they are not like that and they can't be like that. And then I will be constantly betrayed by my expectations. And then I might run from pillar to post talking to 20 people and asking them, am I wrong in my expectations? And they will say, no, you are not wrong, because a husband should be like this. But then those 20 people together cannot ensure that my husband is like that. Okay, so what am I doing basically? I am not, I have decided to close my eyes and not consider the truth that everybody is a soul and they are who they are. How I think of them will only trouble me. How I think of them doesn't have the power to make them that way. Because when I think of them from the point of view of expectation, then I'm radiating negative energy to them. And basically, I'm disempowering them more and more. Okay? Now, can you see everybody around you as a soul? Do you understand the person you call your husband or your wife or your mother or your father or your child is actually a soul? Can you respect the fact that they are who they are? Can you respect the fact that they are who they are? Or you think it's very difficult to respect that fact, and you want to again, keep trying and keep expecting and keep getting disappointed until you end up in depression and anxiety. Okay, so every person is who they are, and what I think of them is my problem based on my conditioning. Yes. Now, this conditioning varies from culture to culture. If you're born in India, your expectation from a wife or a mother would be very different from if you are born in some other country. Yes, it may not be very different, but it would certainly be slightly different. So across countries and even across states, I will tell you, I have lived in Odisha for a very long period of my life, and then I stayed in Delhi, and I stay in Delhi right now. So when I compare what the expectation from women in Odisha is, and what the expectation from women in the northern part of India is, it is very different. So women are treated with more respect, maybe not too much, but a little more respect in the eastern part of India than in the northern part of India. So there are different kinds of perceptions of how we perceive the other gender, how we perceive people in different roles with us. Now, expectations from children. Now, you see, in the US, children are allowed to call the cops if the parents beat them up. Yes, or they are expected to call the cops if the parents beat them up. But this doesn't happen in India. And if the child is even upset because the parent beat him up, then the parent gets upset about why the child is upset. So we have different expectations based on our culture, our time, our geography, and other things. And because of these expectations, the level of disappointment is different in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. But what we have to understand is we are not disappointed because of people. We are disappointed by our expectations because we don't understand that people are who they are supposed to be according to their journey. And if I expect them, if I expect from them a certain thing which they are not capable of giving me, then I will be ultimately disappointed. But if I hold in my mind this awareness that they are who they are, and irrespective of that, I empower the original within them. If I start seeing them as a peaceful, loveful, blissful soul, then probably I will be able to empower them to an extent that they start giving me some kind of support which I am seeking. Right? So if I want to come to harmony, first I have to apply this spiritual perception, understand what's going on, then understand what needs to be done, do that, and then slowly we can harmonize with each other. But all this will happen only when you take care of yourself first. Right? So when you travel by plane, they announce that अपनी सीट की बेल्ट पहले बांधना और उसके बाद दूसरे को मदद करना. So if we want to empower somebody from a place of being upset with them, now suppose I have an expectation from my child and that child is not living up to my expectation, and every day I wake up and I create a picture of that child and say he's a peaceful, loveful, blissful point of light because I want him to fulfill my expectation, then it doesn't work because you are coming from a place of expectation and not acceptance. So first you have to take care of yourself, which is you have to come to acceptance with the fact that the child is who he is and you are okay with it. It is okay. Every soul is allowed to live their life, have the journey of their own, and it is okay even if I don't have control over it. Then when you take care of yourself, when you are at a place of peace and acceptance, then you will be able to radiate the right energy to the child and empower them. So radiating energy to somebody looks very simple, but it is not possible if you have not done the work within yourself. So first take care of yourself, come to a place of peace and acceptance within, and then see the other person as a soul, see them as a peaceful, blissful, powerful, loveful, and disciplined, truthful, beautiful soul, and then you can make them the way you want to see them if you are not operating from a place of expectation but from a place of acceptance. Got it? So this is what spirituality gives you. It gives you the awareness of who you are. It gives you the awareness and the tools to become who you originally are. And when you start seeing yourself as a soul and seeing yourself in your pure form, then this also gives you the power to look at others differently, perceive them as souls, perceive them in their original qualities, and then you can make them peaceful, loveful, powerful soul. You can help them to raise their frequency or their vibration. So this is how we create a world which is more loveful, peaceful than it is today. Now here I would also like to point out that right now we are not in that place of being full within. So the first thing we need to do is we need to assign some time every day so that we can, in that time, we don't do anything else and we just practice practice this consciousness that I am a being of light, I am peaceful, loveful, blissful. So if I don't assign a part of my day to this practice, then I cannot assign a part of my mind to this practice. Because dincharya and mancharya are related. If something cannot find a place in your day, it cannot find a place in your life. Okay, so you have to denote a part of your day to this practice, so that you, with that part of your day devoted to this practice, you ensure that every day you sit for this practice. And it is recommended that the part of your day you devote to this practice should be as soon as you wake up. Okay, as soon as you wake up, preferably at 4 a.m. 4 to 5 in the morning, or precisely 4 to 4:45 in the morning, is known as the Brahma Muhurat. And in that Brahma Muhurat is, if you translate it into normal language, Brahma Muhurat means the time of the Creator. So if you want to create your spiritual state, that is the time you should choose. That is 4 in the morning to 4:45 in the morning. But even if you are not able to wake up that early, what you do is, if you normally wake up at 6, you wake up at 5:30 and devote half an hour to this practice. Even if you are not able to practice it continuously, try writing something down related to this soul consciousness and whatever you are listening to this class. Try thinking about it. Even if you are not able to focus your attention, or you are not able to come to an experience, it is okay. You devote that time to thinking about the fact that you are a soul. You may write it down, you may write an essay, you may recollect the points that you hear in the class, and all this will give a boost to this machinery within, and this machinery which has stopped working. So you see, we have not thought about this practice of soul consciousness for births together. So now that we want to pump up this machine and start thinking in a spiritual manner, you need to do some oiling. So don't think that as soon as you get up you will have a very beautiful experience in meditation. But first what you have to do is, you have to demarcate first half an hour of your day to this practice. And what practice means is thinking about it, churning over it, writing stuff related to it, yes, coming up with your own commentaries, taking the help of commentaries, listening. If you search the net, you will find commentaries on how to practice being a soul. So you can listen to them, you can revise them in your mind, you can revise the sessions you are attending here, and this is your practice or your time devoted to the practice of soul consciousness. And slowly that machinery will get oiled and you will be able to practice better. Fine? So let us practice for a few minutes and then we will meet tomorrow. Sit still and straight. Become aware of yourself. I am a star of light in the center of the forehead. I am a being of love my heart, the energy within me, the vibration that I, the star, hold is that of love. The expression of love is unconditional acceptance and hope and faith. I love myself. I accept my present form. And I have faith in myself that I am a pure being. This is my expression of love for myself. Everyone I see around me is a soul. Bring the picture of every member of your family on the screen of your mind and see them as the star of light shining in the center of the forehead. Each one is a soul with a sanskar. I love each one of them. And the expression of my love is, I accept each one as they are today. And have faith in their original state of peace and purity. I can separate them from their behavior and always constantly hold in my awareness that the one in front of me is a pure, peaceful point of energy. As I do so, I'm changing the atmosphere at home. Try to feel the change in the atmosphere of your surroundings as you hold this spiritual attitude. I'm coming to a place of harmony within, and we are coming to a place of harmony with each other. Spend a few moments in this awareness. Om Shanti.